Catastrophic fires continue to burn across New South Wales and Victoria. Now, police are investigating what they believe to be a deliberately lit fire at Jindabyne as the region prepares for catastrophic conditions tomorrow. I'm joined on the phone now by Snowy Monaro Mayor Peter Beer. Peter, how does it feel to find out a fire may have been deliberately lit in these conditions?
Yeah, you just can't believe it, can you? All the problems that people know about, and the briefing we got at 11 o'clock this morning and what's going to happen, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Do you have any words of warning?
Words of warning? What for?
For people who are acting in that way.
Oh, I hope they get caught and the full measure of the law is put against it, because it's words can't explain it.
You did just mention you had a community meeting this morning. What was the turnout like, and how are the locals feeling ahead of tomorrow?
Well, we had a full hall. I think we had over 1,200 people there in the town, which was quite a large gathering. They came from Jindabyne and the surrounding districts to hear what the Rural Fire Service had, what the police had to say, what council had to say, and what to expect for Saturday. And
what have they told you to expect for Saturday's conditions?
Well, they're expecting a change of wind for a couple of directions, and they're letting us know that the wind will be blowing the fire in a number of directions. We have fires to the west, which are coming from the Tumut direction. They are already into our Kosciuszko National Park. There's some at round about the middle of the park, where the stretches up in our area, and some at the northern part of the park around the old Adaminaby. Both of those will be fairly dangerous. And we've also got fires coming from the south Victoria, which are impacting on towards the Delegate and Bombala. And there's also some in the west, which is the carryover, the east, sorry to say, the carryover from what's happened up and down the coast, which has absolutely been horrific. They've advised a fairly large area to consider their options about getting out or being prepared. And it's a fairly large area. It includes just up to the end of Berriedale, Jindabyne, Adaminaby, all that northern area, Kosciuszko Park, which is, of course, been vacated by all the tourists and everybody out of there. Cabramatta, which is just outside our boundary, and to the south, as I said, there's an area around Delegate and moving on towards Bombala. So we're just now waiting. Everybody who has been asked, who doesn't want to stop and defend their properties, will be leaving fairly early, have either left or they'll leave late this afternoon or very early in the morning. And I hope, they said to get out today, and then the ones who think they can handle it are busily just doing the finishing touches to preparation, moving leaves and tying things up and all that jazz.
Are you finding most people leaving, or are they staying to protect their properties there?
I think the majority want to stay and protect. The village I live in, which is Trolling Village, we've done a run round it, and probably in it about half of them have left. There's been a few holiday houses, of course. They're obviously empty. So there's still probably just under half the occupied houses in Tyrolean Village, where I live, are just ready to defend.
And you'll be out there, of course, tomorrow?
Absolutely, with everybody else. It's been pretty well organised, actually. I think most of the towns have, the little villages. They've got particular areas where they can look for the spotting and to protect each other's properties and some of the other adjoining properties. So, hopefully it'll all go well and everybody will get through the day without too much mishap.
How frightening is it, though, thinking of what could possibly happen?
Well, when you consider what's happened down on the south coast and just our next bordering local government area, it's a frightening experience. We're probably a little bit lucky in the fact that our larger towns like Cooma have a fairly good area of cleared land, not forest and bush right up to them, although there's a little bit in that town, but it's not. They're not settlements that are right tucked in among the trees. Most of them have got some escape route. and certainly the villages along Lake Jindabyne have got obviously escape route back into the lake.
Well, Peter, I wish you and the community all the best tomorrow, looking ahead at those worsening conditions.
Well, thank you, and we hope the weather forecast is completely wrong and it rains. How's that?
Sounds good to me, Peter.
Thanks a lot. Anyway, we'll get through it like we had before, and we'll get through it again.
I'm sure you will.
Okay.